Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved and set me free.
Take your time on this. Take your time on this, friend. Used to be a time. Used to be a time.
Bless us with a very special selection in honor of tonight's occasion.
Good evening, everyone. Isn't this wonderful? I believe so. I'm so happy to be here to represent our family, and they are all on the East Coast. They are happy about this evening happening, and I'm singing one of my compositions that speaks about singing, presenting your spirit and your soul to the world unabashedly. And I don't need to say anymore. When I was a little girl, there was a voice inside of me that told me the story that would be my journey indeed. I didn't know that I would grow to be the girl in this very special world, a world where I hear sing, sister, sing, tell the world about the girl that you are. Sing, sister, sing, tell the world about the song that's in your heart. Sing, sister, sing. Tell the world about the song that's in your heart. Why don't you sing? Sing. About the song that's in your heart. The time has come to make your voice the voice of souls in me. The song you sing for all of us is the very song we need. It's the very song we need. The very song we need.
It is a joy and an honor to be here with this community this evening. Union, yes, has been a seminary for
And they decided
175
they
years,
needed to leave the countryside.
where they were having a very quiet seminary education, and come to New York City, where they could set up shop on the docks and be in the teeming noise and energy of a major metropolitan area, because they believe
Dr. Cornell
that
West.
if you weren't, I've had the privilege of traveling around the world with him in many locations, and I have yet to find any street corner in the world where he is not immediately recognized. But not only that, he's not just recognized, people run towards him. They come towards him expecting a hug. And the thing is that they know that they'll get it. And in addition to a hug, they get someone whose attention is so intensely focused and present to those who come into his midst. And we live in a world in which we have a lot of fake warmth out there. We have public leaders who know how to act as if they care. But you get them back in the corner and you realize that it's an art that they've perfected. Well, people who know Cornel West well know that the person you see up here this evening, the person who people run towards on the street corner, is the very same person that he is even sitting alone in his apartment at Union Theological Seminary on a Sunday night getting ready for class. It's a rare honor to have a chance to work with someone who, like W.B. Du Bois, has within him the scope of knowledge that is only matched by the size of heart and the passion for justice that circles through it. It is a joy to have him at Union Theological Seminary. He has returned to Union this year from Princeton University, where he came from the ivory tower back to the city to train ministers, to be involved in the work of social justice in a place where it is needed in so many ways. An artist, a prophetic voice in the public square, a television icon, a radio voice, an international spokesperson on issues of poverty and of race, and of the many, many issues that wreck and tear our society at its core. We welcome Cornel West to speak to us.
President, Reverend Sister Serena Jones, thank you so much for those kind and generous words. What a blessing it is for me to be here at Zion Hill Baptist Church. There is a sweet spirit in this place. It's been consecrated. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears here down through the years. When you then had the wisdom to pluck a brother from Motor City, Detroit, on the Morehouse, Union Theological Theological Seminary on the Haiti with Peace Corps. Meet Sister Isis at Union Theological Seminary. You know you really had somebody. I'm talking about my dear brother, Reverend Seth W. W stands for Watson. Seth Watson Pickens. Give it up for our dear brother. Love you, brother. Oh, yes. You got a mighty ministry here. Mighty ministry. Sister Isis too, and Louis, Seth, and brother, Sister Zola too, pointed out by the president. And for me, I get excited when I see young brothers on the right track. Oh, yes, because I was a young brother one day, a few days ago. And there is an old man on his way to your house. Don't get me wrong. Time is coming, brother. Oh, indeed. But to see a young brother with a smile, with fortitude, with spiritual maturity, with a humility, that just makes my heart leap with joy. And to see him the shepherd of the flock, and the captain of the ship. And it's true, yes, Union Theological Seminary has shaped and molded him, but we know that's one part. It's his mama, it's his daddy, it's his church. It's his friends, it's his family. Oh yes, absolutely. Because in the end, we are who we are because somebody loved us. Oh, somebody cared for us. Somebody kept track of us and taught us at the deepest level. Do you have the courage to love your crooked neighbor with your crooked heart? Oh, yeah. When I turn to my right and I see my dear brother Mark Ridley Thomas, we go back 35 years and he's still building, working on the building and building it right. And brother, love you, respect you. Give Sister Avis a hug from me. Sebastian and Sinclair as well. Give it up for Brother Mark. 35 years, brother. Our dear Sister Diane Watson, bearing witness year after year after year. And we know how difficult it is in Congress. We're praying for you. The reputation of the institution is not the highest that we can imagine, but thank God there's still some folk on the inside still trying to bear witness and cut against the grain, as difficult as it is. Thank you so much for being here. All of you wonderful brothers and sisters, the artists there in Germany. My God, my sister McKinney, you sing such magnificence. Your mother, smile. Addison, all that and you. My God, what precious memories we have. Strong as ever. God bless your family and your ministry. It happens to be a birthday of two of our dear sisters. Sister Nichelle, who spoke with such eloquence. Her birthday today, and same as you with Sister Melissa. Let's give both of them a hand. That's profound commitment, isn't it? Showed up on your birthday for the institution. And it is true that union means so much to me. I can't think of any other institution that expresses the deepest level of my identity as a Christian. I was blessed to meet, encounter, and make Jesus my choice 51 and a half years ago. I was already a gangster. I stand before you as a redeemed sinner with gangster proclivities. Working every day, trying to stay on the right path, but been transformed and is unapologetic and unashamed of the gospel. That's the kind of Jesus-loving, free black man I decided to be then, and I intend to be faithful unto death. As long as I might be at times, I stand accused and open for correction. But I've been washed in the blood. Oh, yes. Didn't say Kool-Aid, I said blood. We got to remind ourselves here commodified churches, a lot of chamber of commerce religion, a lot of spiritual market spirituality, a lot of money crazed churches. And I said, don't tell me how many folk are in your pew. Tell me how many are on fire because they've been washed in the blood at the foot of the cross and they're willing to love God with their heart, mind, and soul. That's why I like Union Theological Seminary. We don't just produce theorists of the flame, we produce folk on fire who are interested in understanding the dynamics of the flame too. And if you're not willing to be on fire, every flag is beneath the cross. Every nation is beneath the cross. Every individual is beneath the cross. And that cross signifies unarmed truth and unconditional love. And the condition of truth is to allow suffering to speak, beginning with the least of these. If that suffering doesn't speak, you can rest be assured you got a truncated view of the world and you got a truncated gospel. No accident, we got so many highly successful churches, but how many are faithful? Don't confuse successful with faithful. Not the same thing. Be highly successful in the ways of the world and end up locked into conformity and complacency and what I call cowardice, which is forms of rationalization that somehow allow you to be well adjusted to injustice, and you still think you're on the cutting edge of things. Or well adapted to indifference to the suffering of others, and you still think you're worthy of being imitated and emulated. No. I come from a tradition that says that you are required to do justly, love mercy, walk humbly with thy God. And it means from the way in which you look at the world, the angle of vision, the lens through which you look at the world, begins with those who are suffering. Doesn't begin with the stock market. Doesn't begin with Wall Street. We got a celebration right now. 14,000 just broke the record. What does it mean for the 22% of the children living in poverty? What does it mean for the 38% of our red brothers and sisters under 6 and red brothers and sisters, indigenous people? They don't need to be in our churches. They don't need to be in a room for us to be hypersensitive to their suffering, because we call to be concerned about everybody. We call to be concerned about all folk who are catching hell, in the language of Malcolm X. All folks who are wrestling with massive unemployment, all folks dealing with indecent housing, all folks wrestling with decrepit school systems, all folks wrestling with low self-esteem and low self-respect. It is not just rhetoric. See, these days, rhetoric is viewed as something that doesn't translate into making money. That means that the life of Jesus was just empty rhetoric. Well, I'm here to tell you that if everybody's for sale and everything's for sale, then there can be no Christian gospel. There's something called integrity. The great Jane Austen called constancy, moral consistency. And so you want to tell that truth to the best of your ability, beginning with yourself. Begin by pointing out others. Begin with yourself. This is where I'm coming from. This is what shaped me. I begin with the love trainer Curtis Mayfield when he said, people get ready. Oh yeah, are you ready? Part of our problem these days is we got a whole lot of folks who just not ready. You all know that was a historical moment of George Washington Carver when he received his award the last day there at Tuskegee at a 4-hour event. Last moment of Brother George Washington, he looked around and said, I love y'all, and at that time it was all black folks. I love y'all Negroes, but most of y'all not ready. George, why you so hard? But Curtis said, get ready. How do you get ready? First, you got to fortify yourself and be ready for some painful truths. You're never ready for yourself yourself if you're not dealing with painful truth. Some of your own fears, your own insecurities, your own anxiety, your own challenges. And if you're not willing to criticize yourself and get ready, can you imagine how difficult it is for a larger community to deal with painful truths? Not that soft stuff that provides that superficial consolation, but that blessed assurance that makes you uncomfortable so that at the deepest level you have that divine comfort. Oh, that's something else. That's something else. That's why Paul said Christians have to die daily.
He made it very clear along the way. This had nothing to do with support for a far right wing brother who got white supremacist elements among his social base in an explicit way, who had Fox News and a whole host of others. And as you know, we were on Fox News and we clashed over and over and over again. But what we were not going to do was to allow the narrow, truncated public discussion to downplay the plight of poor people, just for political calculation. Now here, this is where you get the tension. Because you see, if you have a prophetic calling, you've got prophetic fire and you've got righteous indignation. If you're a politician, you've got political calculation and you've got practical judgment. And we understand the different levels. One of the things we've been brothers for 35 years, Brother Marcus, really tough. Brother Corn, Brother West, I love your fight. I'm working on the inside and I'm trying to be effective so I can generate these resources for the very poor people that you're talking about. And I say, then we got a relationship inside and outside. Because I'm an outsider. And I'm you know. Yes.
Good evening, Dr. Patrick. We are so good to see you. I send warm greetings from Dr. Malone and Brady to you. And thank you so much for welcoming us in your church, brother. My question has to do with the statement you made about recognizing what is at stake. And I'm thinking about Dr. King saying that we are, as a people, have a divine historical mission. I'm thinking about understanding ourselves as a social and moral vanguard in this country. And how, as you mentioned, the church is now abandoning their social justice mission. This group of politicians that call themselves the Joshua generation, that they're not here to fight anymore, they're here to negotiate. All of these things I'm wondering in terms of, is this what you're implying when you say what is at stake, like the loss of our historical mission, our historical initiative in this country and in fact in the world. So if you could talk about that. And also if you could explain when you refer to Dr. King as that Negro, kind of, I have a question about that.
Oh, yeah, no, but that's a term of endearment. Because I do tend to swing between Negro and Black. I don't really like African American.
Amen. Amen.
A lot of folks stuck with it, but I'm not as And the reason that I am is because, as I said before, all human beings have the same status, and all black people have the same status.
All right,
but there's a specificity of the people who've been enslaved in Jim Crow. And there's some black folk who have not been through an experience of Jim Crow.
That's it. That's it.
See, Jamaica went through slavery and produced great figures like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X's father. But Jamaica didn't have Jim Crow.
All right.
Jim Crow was specifically USA.
That's right.
USA. And Jim Crow was the first time you had people who were enslaved, became citizens, and then became subjected again as anti-citizens. And so the process of Negroization of those folk who were enslaved and Jim Crow is different from folk who've been enslaved and come to the States with voluntary immigrants. Big difference.
Amen.
Psychically, spiritually, politically, and so forth. That way we can't work together. We can't conceive a black freedom movement without Stokely Carmichael.
That's it.
Stokely from Trinidad.
That's right.
We go on and on. So we have to be honest. We have to be honest about
distinctiveness even as we embrace. Because that's what Marcus Garvey couldn't believe when he got here, right?
Right.
You looked around and saw black folk. Ooh, these are different kind of black folk. And what did he mean when he said that? He said, these folk have been so deeply niggerized. They're so intimidated and afraid and scared. They walk around laughing when it ain't funny and scratching when it don't itch and wearing the mask. Because violence is in their face. They could be lynched any moment. And when you have that violence in your face, generation after generation, that's different.
That's right.
And so when the folks stand up, straighten their backs up in the face of that, then you know you got something. But large numbers of them don't. That's why when Brother Martin called for a boycott in Montgomery, he had 87 black churches. How many black churches came with Martin? Don't tell younger generation all the black churches went with Martin. 14 of them.
That's right. That's
The
right.
rest of them were scared. And they had good reason to be scared. They knew folk who were lynched.
Sure did.
They said, that Martin Luther King Jr. is one of those crazy Negroes. He gonna get us lynched. Am I right, Madison?
Oh, yes.
Police put the gun to his head. Shoot me if you want to. I love the people. I believe in the power of the people. What did black folks say? This Negro's crazy. They never been loved like that. They're not used to that kind of. That's why I wrote a song with Bootsy Collins called When Love is a Threat. Because deep love can be a threat for folk who's scared all the time. We were scared about it. That Negro will get us killed. How come he telling no truth? He too honest. Keep it in the barber shop. Keep it in the beauty salon. Don't put that on Johnny Carson show. They said about Richard Pryor. Too free. Come on, Rick. Go back to Peoria and get your act together. You're too free, man. Pryor said, no, I got something for you. Y'all gonna get some truths, and the whole world is gonna hear it. Yes. And I'm going to be unpopular at the moment, but down the road, I'm not going to be locked into some purgatory of posterity. I'm going to be viewed as a free black man who told the truth, even if it is to catch on fire. Take a stand. Take a stand. So that's what I mean by losing. When you lose that spirit of being a spiritual warrior, then you lose the spirit of the people. Now, I do believe in negotiation. And those on the inside have to negotiate. God, we support their negotiation. And let them know. We have power on the outside. The folks you negotiate against. We got power on the outside. That's right. Sister Diane, they negotiate. Tell them, Sister Diane, you got old crazy West out here. Yes. Tell them, oh, I'm out here now. I'm going straight to television. They messing with you. But you have to be able to coordinate the division of labor. You see what I mean? And I don't want to suggest that young folk have lost. That's why I wouldn't even say churches have abandoned. I said there's a weakening of the commitment to
That's right.
spiritual warriorship and social justice.
24 now, but when I was 19, I read some of your work and you completely turned my world upside down and then blew it up. So, it's really an honor to be here and asking this question. So I'm getting my master's in education. I'm a medical teacher, but I also work in the corporate world. And no matter what age of the people I deal with, I just see such a pervasive sense of indifference. People that are so, we live in such a consumerist society. It just seems like a lot of people don't care about things. So when I get into discussions about indefinite detention and drone warfare, our invisible Palestinian brothers and sisters, people look at me like I'm crazy and they say, oh, you're intense, but I feel like these are things that are just deeply ingrained in me. So my question is, how do I deal with so much indifference in our society and not, go crazy? like I'm gonna lose my mind. How do I know you deal with that a lot because we were talking about dying to yourself daily. But that's just, it's kind of a personal question, but really, how do I not lose my mind?
who have their feet on the ground and have a sense of reality so that you are not convinced that somehow folk who are out of touch with reality become the point of reference for your definition of reality. They will convince you somehow you are the one crazy. Because they're the one living in the hallucinated world. Phantasmagoric images, confused with the real things. Second, you want to be in contact with the voices of the dead. You take, for example, the yard ball for you. I am the basketball man. She wrestles with this exactly. I see you smile, you already did. You had me already. The loneliness of those who try to be truth tellers. The loneliness of those who cut against the grain. That's very, very real. Very real indeed. But you became an exhibition A of the younger generation who's got that soul, that spiritual warriorship, that intellectual, spiritual, and moral commitment to justice that we were talking about. So I salute you.